Hello, and welcome to Metaphysical Awakenings with Barbara and Eric. We're so glad to have you here. So, Barbara, this is our very first episode.
I'm very excited. It's all about sharing metaphysical awarenesses and taking the fear out of that which we don't understand, finding the love behind all of it. We are going to seek to bring in all people who want to learn the truth of what this world is about and get rid of all the old dogma, all the old, you're going to do this or you're going to go to hell. I mean, all of that nonsense is so old and outdated. We're going to do a lot of different things, right?
Absolutely. And Barbara, we've known each other for, about 6 or 7 years?
Yeah.
That's right. We know each other through church, through a Unity church.
Yes, we do.
Which, fortunately, is very open-minded and very different than when I grew up, which is definitely more of a fear-based type of religion.
I grew up the same.
Right.
We'll just leave that there.
Yeah. In fact, I remember I left whenever I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I told my parents, you're going to have to drag me out of this bed. I'm never going to that church again. And
that's powerful, Eric.
it was scary because that's all I knew for the first 15 years. And I never got to the point where I was like, there is no God. But for a while, I was in that void where I'm not sure.
Right.
So
sure.
I guess I was agnostic for a while. And then through my 20s, I started having a sense that I think there is something more here, something more powerful than just individuals like us, something that unites us all.
Something bigger than you and I.
Yeah, exactly. And then in my late 20s, I started really believing that, and I started listening to Joel Osteen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know he can be controversial for some, but for me, it was just a positive reminder that God is here for us and that we are victors and not victims.
Right.
So had a couple of years listening to him, and then in 2016, I was invited to run sound at a Unity church in Orlando, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it more than one day, but that first time, the pastor lifted up the Bible and said, "We never want to use this to put people down, only lift people up." And after that, I was like, "All right, I can sign me up. I can deal with
Yay.
this." And then after a couple of years of running sound there, I had the opportunity to go over to the Unity Church over in Titusville, where I met you, and I got to be a music director over there. And you're by far my favorite singer and person to work with. But besides that, over the past 5-6 years, I've learned so much spiritually, not only from the church, but from you yourself. You're such a powerful person, a seer, So tell our audience a little bit about you.
Well, I am a generationally predisposed Celtic seer. I am a medium, and I'm also a medical intuitive. Now, understand, all this sounds like a whole lot of hoopla and hoorah, but at the end of the day, I am just a girl who allowed that which was of me to wake up. As an adopted child, now this happens to a lot of kids, and it's another goal of mine. I want to open up awarenesses and bring children in so that they get to be comfortable in their skin. But when I was 5 years old, I was put in a psychiatrist's office because I was talking to people who weren't there, you see.
Gotcha.
And I learned that if I keep talking to these people who, quote, aren't there, who were very much there, but I would have to go downtown and talk to the talking doctor, and my mother could no longer, we were so simple back then, but she bribed me with a Coke. We're going to go get a Coke. I said, no, we're going to go to the talking doctor. I'm not going to go. So anyway, we'll fast forward, and a very, very long story short. I met a medium who basically told me who I was, and I thought she had been smoking funny cigarettes. Very honestly, I honestly, I couldn't believe it about myself. But I allowed myself to open, and then the healer came, and then the awarenesses. Oh my goodness! After I started doing healing, it was like I could feel it, I could see it, I could hear it, I knew it, I could sense it, and oh my goodness, every once in a while I could smell it. That
powerful.
Yeah, very, very powerful things.
All the clairs, as you've mentioned before.
Yeah, and my least favorite is clairsmelliance, but we get past that. But the thing that I've discovered most is when I tell people these days, from where I've come to where I am today, I am told that I am going to go to hell and I am going to die because I am doing that devil stuff. Lord.
There's that fear.
Well, you know what? This is what we're here for. We're going to take this fear out. We are going to bring the love and the understanding in so that everybody, we all have what I have, at least some piece of it. And I am going to do my darndest with my friend here to bring that and let everybody open like a lotus flower to be who and what God brought you here to be.
So we came up with the podcast or the video series of Metaphysical Awakenings.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know the word metaphysics or metaphysical, how would you define that? Or...
Sure. Metaphysics is going to be that which is beyond or above what is physical or tangible or understandable through basic ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. It's all that is brought through spiritual understandings. Sometimes there's things that we can't see, and there's an explanation. So I'm going to say that I have a psychic awareness about something going on with you, and you're going to go, how did you know that? Well, that is a metaphysical awareness. And it goes to healing, it goes to wholeness, it goes to every aspect of our lives. So that which is beyond the physical is metaphysical.
Got it. So going to the Bible, and some people have a very literal understanding of reading it, and they believe that's exactly what happened word by word. But another way of interpreting the Bible is through a metaphysical lens, and one way that really helped makes sense to me is that we are all of the stories, all the characters that are in the Bible.
Yeah.
There's times in our life to where we have that Christ-like presence, and we are shining as the brightest lights that we can be.
Right.
But then there's other times like I think it's Thomas was the one who was the doubter.
He was the doubter.
There's been times in my life where I've been a doubter.
I'm going to drink to that.
And so by seeing the Bible more of in a metaphysical light, I can almost relate to those powerful stories in a closer, more direct way, because realizing, oh yeah, I've acted like that. I've been like that person before too.
Yeah.
Or I could strive to be like this person here.
Correct. Well, I've taken it a little bit further and tried to discern that which makes sense and that which makes absolutely no sense at all. And I'm going to step in it here for a little bit of you, so just bear with me here. But I can't fathom or take or understand or put love around a God that's jealous, boastful, or out to kill somebody. That's not my awareness. That's not my experience. And I'm going to say that God for me is an inside job. I trust these days more of what I see and hear and feel and know of God than any outside influence. Now, I'm open to learn. I have many, many people that I follow that know a heck of a lot more than me, but everything for me has to ring true within a loving vibration, or interpretation. Does that make sense?
It does. It sounds like you're really just trusting your intuition.
I have to.
And that intuition is the source to God.
It's our God source.
Right.
It's our Christ center, the Christ light within.
And I think I've heard it that what God is just good. That's where the word God came from, is just good. So inherently God is good. We are part of God. Therefore, we are also inherently good.
Absolutely. Synonymously, God is love. Love is God. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And of course, I think the biggest definition, and bear with me in my crazy humor, but what is the most adorably wonderful, loving being on the earth? A D-O-G. All right? If you go backwards, that's G-O-D. So, I mean, just kind of some humor there. But
as you know, having a dog just like I do, they have unconditional love.
Exactly my point. Thank you. Thank you for saving me there. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That unconditional God source love, where basically while they're on the planet, you're kind of their God. Mm-hmm. You know, they look to you for everything, and there's only love coming back. That's what I want for every human being in their life for all times. Not to turn a blind eye to that which is fearful or, fight or flight. I want to use those two as what we need in a moment, a drastic moment. And I want us to consider what is truth and what is not truth and where the love goes with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this first video here, we didn't really come in with a script or even a plan. We just decided we're going to go into it. I imagine as we get to further episodes, we'll get a little bit more, not scripted, but maybe we'll choose certain themes or certain things that you've experienced in your life.
100%.
But I'd like to know, what are some of your goals with this podcast here?
Oh, that's simple. My number one goal is to reach out across the airwaves and to help people get rid of that fear that has been inbred in us for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. It is not the truth of us. We do not have to live our lives in fear of something dropping on our head because we didn't do a specific task. When I finally turned the page and allowed everything I am to blossom, where I'm finally comfortable in my own skin, well, that was because I found through DNA, I found my true biological family. And I knew that all of this that I've had all this time was the real deal. Mm-hmm. It came through hundreds of years back. But the point is, it took me all that time to be comfortable in my skin. And I don't want that for everybody. I certainly don't want it for children. I don't want people taking their kids to psychiatrist's office like I had to do when I was a little girl. I want us to de-escalate. Maybe sometimes we'll have to take baby steps, but I'm going to bring in different subjects, okay, for us to discuss that have been taboo, and oh my God, the devil's going to come and knock us out and take us where. It's just not the truth. So my goal is to bring truth where there was fear.
Absolutely.
And cover it with love.
I imagine that we are going to have many questions from our audience.
That's fabulous. I greatly look forward to that.
And perhaps also differing opinions too.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I really do not. And I'm not trying to sit here and portray that I do. But I know that my path led me to love. And it almost makes me want to cry here. But I have to be able to share that, or I'm not doing what God put me here to do.
So, yeah, I'm really glad that we are here together doing the mission from God. This is something that's been on your mind for a while, and I appreciate you taking me along for the ride on
Oh
this.
my goodness, I wouldn't go with anybody else. That's the truth.
Excellent. So, we're looking forward to the next recording. I'm not sure what the specific topic is going to be or what the specific theme is, but audience, if you want to hear about something, her experiences, or a certain theme, please let us know. And I think we're going to try to do this about once a week.
Once a week, yeah. So we have time to digest the things that come in, answer some of the questions, and just give ourselves room to grow.
Room to grow, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we're on this journey, and each day we are growing and developing. So
Sure.
it's not about reaching the end state or the finish line. It's about the journey along the way.
Perfectly put. Thank you.
Excellent. Any last things that you'd like to say?
I'll leave us, if that's okay, with the prayer for protection.
Ooh, very powerful.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yay,
So it
God.
is.
That's a really powerful one. Sometimes I'll say it before I take a drive or am traveling or just in a spot of I need something. I need some guidance. And it's a simple one, but sometimes the simplest things are the best.
Amen to that.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for coming.